Good evening, folks. Welcome to Inside the Consolidated Channel. As always, I'm your host, Brock White. Joined by the Dickinson Press's managing editor, Dustin Monkey. Dustin, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Back for a busy, we have a lot of news to cover in this episode. Lots going on in the past week. Joining us today in studio, Dickinson Press advertising consultant, advertising assistant Nikki Bear to talk about the Dickinson Expo this weekend at the West River Ice Center. Lots of things happening there this Saturday.
We're all there.
We're all there.
You, me, her,
we're
all
all
there
be
this
there.
weekend,
Come see us this Saturday for sure.
Absolutely.
First off, though, we lead with the biggest story in the area. It's just a shocker from my hometown of Bowman. A murder took place there over the weekend. A young man, 23-year-old man from Rame, was found dead at the Elview Motel Saturday morning, Friday morning?
Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon. Cleaning staff found him in the room. And very, very quickly, I was very impressed, and it's probably due to some very good tips that came in, how fast they got their suspects.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And two states away.
Great work by police departments in not only Bowman County, but
Wyoming and Colorado.
Well, the BCI here, Dickinson and Bowman Police used Wyoming and Colorado law enforcement and authorities to help them track down the folks that they believe
are the suspects in the murder.
Allegedly committed this homicide.
Two Bowman residents, a young gal and a young guy, and they're both in their 20s, who have a pretty lengthy rap sheet. They do. They both just were recently in and out of the.
One was arrested as late as July 29th, I believe it was.
The girl had a terrorizing incident in town, and family members were terrified of her, and she had a weapon and stuff. And they found a filed-off shotgun with serial numbers missing on it. They just bailed out of jail by the man in the incident recently. And then a third man from Minnesota involved with this as well, who there's been conflicting reports, rumors on social media saying he might have been held hostage because he saw what happened, heard what happened.
Exactly. That's what we can't find anything on him.
There's
nothing
nothing
exactly
verified
where
on
he's
it,
from or whatever, but more is gonna come down in the next couple days on this. We're just always awaiting releases from the Bowman Police Department about this. It's just going to be a continuing, evolving story.
And it's an evolving investigation. The Bowman Police Department is learning more every day as we go. The community's reeling. It's just a huge thing for Bowman, for any community that size in the area. Rame,
Nick Johnson was the victim, and he was a member of the Rame Fire Department, and a young man, and had a whole life ahead of him, caught up, mixed up in something.
Who knows the story?
We don't know the story.
Wrong place, wrong time,
we don't
wrong
know.
crowd. We don't know right now. We're going to find out.
And I don't think the police know exactly either.
No,
and that's
they
the thing, is they're still working on it. The BCI is still investigating it. It's going to be something that has to be really paid attention to.
Kudos to the departments involved for getting on it and getting the suspects as fast as they did, because two states away, that could have went really bad really quick, and they could have been still to this moment looking for them.
Absolutely.
So
and they could be a lot further away.
The tips that came in, whatever it was, hats off to all involved.
In
Dickinson, some incidents of our own up here. The theme of this, the underlying theme, it's been rumored, and the police think it is as well, are drugs.
Oh yeah.
And we've talked about this in the show a lot, about how it's just a major problem in the area, and it's not. It's not going away.
No, I've had my monkey business 2 weeks ago. Was about that,
drugs and crime. Carroll's Court Trailer Park, south of Dickinson here, by Heart River down there. Two incidents.
Shooting and a pistol whipping.
Yeah. Man was shot in the head by his roommate. And then a pistol whipping of 3 people by one person, right?
4 people.
4 people is what it was.
4 people.
4
Three
people.
Three of them were hospitalized
on Saturday evening. So it's been a busy week for crime, and the people think, the police think it all comes back to possibly drugs.
Oh, I don't think it's possible. I think, we're speculating.
I don't want to say until there's, but yeah.
As a journalist, I hate to speculate, but it's pretty obvious. And that's what the questions we ask is this drugs? And yes, fairly obvious that it is drugs. Or it's, simple, even if it's not a deal, it's something where that person was on drugs, or was using drugs, or there was a drug
something
past.
Went south.
There is something. In one way, shape, or form, it all comes back to drugs, period. So it's been an issue here, and like I said, we've been pushing it. We've been telling people through stories, through columns, through whatever, that hey, this is a big deal.
Take your head out
has to be taken, paid attention to, and now people are finally starting to realize, oh yeah, this is obviously the Bowman County thing too. Could very well be connected to drugs. There's a good possibility. There's a lot of rumors going around Bowman that it was connected to drugs in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, it's just. Everything that's happening around here, it doesn't just happen. And that's what Robin Travis from the Southwest Narcotics Task Force says. When crime happens around here in Southwest North Dakota, it doesn't just happen because. It's not just because somebody lost their mind and they decided to kill somebody. It happens, but it's rare. Usually there is a motive behind it. There is a reason behind it, and that reason 99% of the time comes back to drugs.
Yeah, and there's always been concerns too. I know you've read in the past, a couple of years of Bowman being in the corner, a border town almost.
Yep.
With some people trafficking with Highway 85, a lot of traffic coming
Highway
through
85
there,
and Highway 12.
and things that might come in the area from there, and people get involved with that. And it's just unfortunate because, number one, I love my community, Bowman, hometown, always will be. Great place to live, great place to raise your family. But sometimes it's kind of the underbelly of these towns like this. Not just Bowman, but other towns in the area as well.
Absolutely.
You hate to see it. You just hope that
every town.
get everything cleaned up.
I hate to just you hate to just point out Bowman. I mean, I'm from New England.
No, yeah.
I'm from New England, and I know a lot of things
every
about
community.
I know a lot of things about things that have happened in New England over the years. Belfield. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Watford.
Exactly. Watford. Beach. Doesn't matter where.
Yeah,
there's a murder case I'm going out to. I'll be there on Thursday. Obviously, we're filming on Wednesday.
We've never heard more
because of the summer schedule,
recently.
but I'll be out there on Thursday morning. So look in the Friday paper if you're watching tonight on Thursday. Look in the Friday paper for more about the case.
The beach murder case.
The beach murder case. Yep.
And
it was. We don't know if it's a murder. That's what the whole issue with that one is. Was it a murder? Was it an assisted suicide? Was it an accident?
Sure.
We don't know. The guy lied to police about what happened. So it's just a whole mess. I'm still kind of sifting through court documents on that one. Well, I'm still sifting through court documents on it. So, and there's a lot of
not just your end, but I mean from the police department.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of witnesses that haven't been interviewed yet.
Sure.
I mean, so this is just a preliminary hearing. This is not even close to trial. No, not even close to the end for this one. But and that we don't know what that involved either. I guess we're going to find out more later.
Hate to see all the crime, but it's just fortunate the reality what's happening right now in the area.
Yep.
Also unfortunate for some, the Dakota Access Pipeline protests rage on, and they continue, and they're getting escalated. And the state declared
state of
emergency at the pipeline. Well, fill us what's happening up there right now.
I'm not the greatest the greatest source of information on this. There's just so much that's happening there.
Yeah.
From what I've been able to gather, it seems like the Standing Rock tribe wants to peacefully protest. And there are other people that are coming in from throughout the nation, be it, tribes, tribal members, or just environmental activists, whoever, and they want to stand in solidarity with the tribe. But it seems like they're the ones that are making the headlines. They're the ones that are organizing the marches and everything like that. The state pulled their resources, because usually the state, if there is a protest, an organized protest like this that is massive on scale, they'll provide water, they'll provide whatever that they need to do.
The state pulled it.
The state pulled it
because it was being vandalized.
Well, not so much that. I think it's because they were told that it was going to be on tribal land, and it wasn't on tribal land. So the state said, we'll do that as long as it's on tribal land. Well, no, it's on Missouri. And I was asking this question last week to everybody I could think of was, hey, who owns this land? Well, it turns out the Army Corps of Engineers owns this land. So the federal government, this is government land that they're protesting on. So, it's just not just some landowner. The Corps of Engineers did this. And I'm kind of in the same camp as Brian Call, Public Service Commissioner, on this, where it's like, you know what, peacefully protest, but you guys had your opportunity to come and say something.
This has gone through the process.
This has gone through the process, and it's gone through a heavy process. I mean, I don't know how many Dakota Access Pipeline stories we had in our paper and every other state in the paper in the state
just
published.
Put a pipeline under the river for the heck of it. There's a lot that goes into this.
And I understand where the tribe is coming from here. I understand their issue. I mean, it's a very evident issue that pipelines leak, pipelines break down. What happens when it's 20 feet underneath the river? Well, that 20 feet is not that far to seep up. So I get it. But there's so many other pipelines that cross underneath rivers and bodies of water in this country that we've never, ever, ever had a problem with. The only one that we can think of recently around here was the Yellowstone River leak, and that was a defective pipeline. It was an old pipeline made before these new ones where we have computer technology and all that stuff.
This isn't the first or last pipeline ever put underneath water across the U.S.
I mean, we're acting like, there's a lot of people acting like this is just some rare
off the wall idea.
Yeah, it's not rare at all. It's normal. It happens all over the country. If you look at that map if you look at the Army Corps of Engineers map that shows all the pipelines that run underneath the bodies of water in this country, it's amazing, and there's only a handful of them up here. But there's so many more toward the southern part of the United States, and especially on the East Coast. Obviously, more water over there too. But it's just something. I hope it ends amicably, peacefully. The pipeline folks can get back to work. That's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of money that's being wasted out there every single day. And here's the deal too. At the pipeline site, they're not even protesting anymore. They're just sitting there.
Yeah.
I mean, as of the pictures I've seen and the reports I've read, they're just sitting there. They're just kind of like squatting at this point, you know, and that's fine. I mean, it's peaceful.
You have the right to peacefully protest.
You have the right to peacefully
Everyone
protest.
does, yes.
But now, I mean, they're getting sued by the company, and that's not going to end well. That's going to go to federal court. So eventually, they're going to have to get out of the way because the pipeline company's going to win.
How do you sue protesters? What I was wondering.
Well, they're suing the tribe.
Okay,
they're suing the tribe for organizing it and everything like that, and then not dispersing peacefully at a timely manner. Because obviously the Army Corps of Engineers has given them the right to go underneath that land, and
well, like you said, it all comes back. Public Service Commission. The hearings have been had.
Yep.
The research has been done. The ruling has been made.
Yep.
This is a lawful, legal thing they're trying to do.
Well, now they've
gone through all the motions.
The thing that I don't like about it is that it's not just the Standing Rock tribe. They are the ones that they have the gripe. But it's the people from across the nation, and the actresses and the actors and all these folks from Hollywood and New York and D.C. that are getting involved in this now.
There was a social justice warrior blogger from Utah that came here. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like that.
I wonder what that guy does for a living. Like, what do you do for a living? What do you live on?
He's a
your social justice internet
warrior.
You know, I'm sure you have a huge trust fund somewhere, but
it's a mess.
It's a mess. I mean,
and like Doug said, we just hope it ends soon and ends peacefully and amicably.
It's a great story. I mean, as a newspaper guy, it's a great story. It sells newspapers, but it's also it's an issue. It's got to be resolved soon.
On a, I guess you'd say a brighter note, Hawks Point it took as a big relief, a big sigh of relief.
Yep.
Finally, First National Bank of Trust, who had foreclosed on the building from Dickinson Investments. What was it called?
Dickinson Investments LLC.
Yeah.
It was a group
that was
they were foreclosed on.
It was guaranteed by the foundation.
Loans were guaranteed by the
former
foundation.
Yep. Anyways, First National Bank of Trust out of Watford City foreclosed on Hawks Point and took ownership the other day. And operations will remain as is for now.
Yeah, they're gonna keep it as is. They're not gonna raise rents. They're actively searching for a buyer.
The regional president came down, met with the residents.
He's going to be the executive of the place. They're looking to hire an executive director. You know, Jim Osmond. God bless Jim Osmond. He's
put his time in.
He's put his time in the last couple of years here as interim president of DSU, interim executive director of Hawks Point. The man is well into retirement, and he took on a lot.
There's probably not enough thanks for DSU to Jim Osmond for what he did in the past 2 years of righting the ship and giving it a steady foundation.
He's been on the show before. He really, you know, he took the bull by the horns, like almost literally, and just turned that ship right around.
It was
and
a
obviously,
wild bull. The whole thing was for a while.
It was crazy for a while, and I think Jim's leadership and a couple other folks' leaderships out there. Tom Mitchell. I'm going to talk about it a little bit in Monkey Business. And I think DSU is moving in the right direction.
The New Heritage Group, the
New Heritage Foundation, absolutely. Things are moving in the right direction for DSU. Hawks Point being taken over by the bank, who is looking for a new senior services organization to own it.
Take over. You know, they are a bank. They're not in the retirement home business.
They're looking for an executive director, Brock, if you wanted a new job.
I think I'm good. I'll stick to DJing. I don't know.
It's a marketing position. That's your gig. I mean, that's basically what it is. And that's what they said. They want someone, they have empty rooms there. They want someone who can sell the place to help fill them. And you know, as long as they get, I know there's a bunch of different senior services companies that own these places throughout the country.
Own multiple places.
All over the country.
They're groups that own, you know, dozens upon dozens of them. So they're looking for that kind of place to come in and make this part of their network of retirement homes.
And I think this one will be a unique one because it is on the DSU campus. It's affiliated with Dickinson State University in multiple ways.
And still provides
students works there.
A lot of opportunities for the students too.
Absolutely. The nursing students, especially nursing students, they work there a lot. I know my grandma's at Hawks Point. She always has a DSU student helping her out. I went in there one night. We had her out at the farm, and I drove her back up to town and had to take her back in, and a couple of gals who I used to cover in sports, you know, back in the day, and they're DSU students. They helped her back in. So, you know, good for DSU, good for Hawks Point for getting this thing figured out and hopefully righting the ship here soon.
I say good on First International Bank and Trust for stepping in and not.
Somebody had to.
Well, yeah, and you know, some banks they're dollars and cents guys only.
Yeah.
This is not so much a business decision as it is a community decision.
I think it's a business and community decision.
But there's a part of this. They're gonna carry the note for a while.
They're gonna make money on it. Don't worry. I mean,
eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
It's a long-term play for them.
Absolutely.
It really is.
I mean, they don't know how long they can actually hold on to this property as a bank. They're looking into it currently. They still haven't figured out if there's any laws whether or not they can hold it on to.
They're a bank. They're not in the retirement home business.
But they want to be out of it at the absolute very latest. It sounds like 5 years.
I tip hat to First International Bank for doing the right thing with Hawks Point and keeping it going here in town. And it'd be horrible if God forbid, they would have closed the doors in the place. What would happen then?
There'd been hundreds of residents out of
nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. And we have a senior system here in town where a lot of our homes are full. They're full
for sure. So yeah, we'll come back after this with our interview in studio with Nikki Baer, the Dickinson Press advertising assistant, talk about the Dickinson Expo this weekend at the West River Ice Center.
I can't wait to go back to school. I know, sounds nuts, but Mom and Dad said we're getting internet from Consolidated for back to school. We'll have downloads way faster than we do now, so even with all our gadgets online, Dad's laptop, Mom's smartphone, my sister's tablet, I'll have all the speed I need, for reports and stuff. Plus, Mom says Consolidated's customer support makes it a great value. Call or click Consolidated today for the fastest internet available.
All right, folks, welcome back to Insight. Joining us today in studio, Nikki Baer here to talk about the Dickinson Expo coming up. You're a sales assistant, advertising assistant at the Press, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and we have a big event this Saturday at the Dickinson West River Ice Center or Rec Center. I forget the name of it all the time. Dickinson Expo.
West River Ice Center.
West River Ice Center. Dickinson.
The big arena, the big hockey arena.
The big arena, you know what I'm talking about, folks. The Dickinson Expo 2016. You have all kinds of things, vendors and food and music and the whole works. Tell us about this event and what it all entails, kind of.
Sure. Well, we have this event this Saturday. It's from 9 to 3 p.m. We started off with some amazing entertainment from a former Burning Hill singer and a Broadway star, Jared Yodelman Mason. Okay. He'll do a performance at 10 a.m. And then we have at 11 a.m. we do a self-defense seminar with the Dickinson Police Department. Mm-hmm. And then at noon, we have our annual fashion show with some fall fashions from out of town, Miss Willow's Nest and Cobalt's Closet. And then we go on to 1 p.m. We have the DSU instructors doing a music performance. And we end our entertainment at 2 p.m. with Artistic Exchange Dance Studio doing a dance performance.
All right.
And then throughout the day, we have tons of door prizes to give away. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, all our vendors. We have shopping going on in some of the booths, demos, food sampling. And then if you get hungry while you're down there, we have the Dickinson Relay for Life team down there doing concession stands.
Right, awesome.
And we have Mrs. North Dakota State's Fair's outstanding teen, Deja, down there doing face painting.
Deja Bozic.
Yeah,
from Dickinson.
From Dickinson, yes, she is. And she will be doing that all day long and do Goodwill donations for the Children's Miracle Network.
Awesome.
So that's a great program for her to be doing that. And pretty much throughout the day, like I was saying, there's demos. There's even a booth that has a Lamborghini this year with fitness models that you can take a photo with. So that's going to be pretty good. And it's going to be just a fun, full day of shopping and music and performances.
I mean, we were talking at the Press how this has really evolved in the past few years. It used to be the Women's Expo. When I first started at the Press, it was the Women's Expo.
I remember that from years ago. Yeah.
And we didn't do it every year. It was just kind of like an every other year thing. It was basically a longer day event too. It was like from 9 in the morning till 5 at night, and then we had to clean up and stuff. Now we've condensed it into 6 hours, it seems like, and it just seems like a better event overall. More vendors, which is what people want to see. It's what vendors.
It's probably the backbone of the event.
It is.
The
It's
vendors
the backbone
right?
of there's a lot. These are local folks too, and that's another thing.
Home-based businesses.
I mean, Nikki, tell us about the vendors. I know you and I were talking about it the other day that we've got more vendors there than we've had ever.
Yeah, we have over 75 booths this year.
Wow.
Half of them are returning from last year, but we have a great amount of new people for the area. I'm excited for the newer ones because, like you're saying, it used to be like the women's expo. Well, now we're gearing it towards family. So we have a lot of booths that are for men, not just women, and then we have booths for kids now too. So I'm looking forward to showing the variety of vendors we have this year.
Yeah, and like Dustin said, all local-based people too from around the area. So it's great to get out and get to meet your different vendors and different businesses and home-based businesses and shop local. Definitely shop local this time around. Yeah.
Nikki, show some of the stuff that we have here for the folks that come to the expo. Well, first of all, kind of our advertising for it. If you look at the advertiser this week, we have
The lineup.
the big lineup of
front
everything, all the
page.
vendors, all the entertainment, and the expo stuff here.
Yeah.
But then, Nikki, show us what people get when they come to the expo.
So when they get this year, the first 800 people will receive this shopping bag.
Oh, nice.
And we had Western Cooperative Credit Union is the one that donated these bags to us. So big shout out to them and thank you for donating these bags. And then also big shout out to Midco for sponsoring this whole event for us, because without them, we wouldn't be having a show.
Easy on the M word on Channel 8.
Yeah, sorry, but
Also, Town
Consolidated
Place-
does have a booth.
Yeah,
so
Consolidated,
they are
Town
there.
Place Suites by Marriott as well.
Yep, Town Place Suites,
Watching
Marriott.
out for the brand, that's all.
And of course Dickinson Press. And then in today's paper we have the Expo
Wednesday's
tab.
paper.
Or, sorry,
Wednesday's paper.
Wednesday's
Okay.
paper. We have the Expo tabs inside there, and inside the tab in the middle is the
Oh, it's your
map
layout, okay.
of all the vendors, so you
Cool.
can figure out where you want to shop, and then ads of all the vendors that are there, kind of showing what kind of specials they're doing through the booth.
Very cool.
For example, Euphoria, they're doing a hair extension demo in their booth,
Oh, hey,
and glitter
yeah.
tattoos,
Yeah,
and
You'll
go
see
get a
there.
tattoo.
Yeah, hair extensions, yeah.
So yeah, I have a lot of good things.
Well, it sounds like
going
a
on.
great day of entertainment, free entertainment. Is there any? It's free to attend, right? The event is?
No,
Okay, does
nope,
it cost
nope.
okay?
No,
Okay.
right now
we cover that.
we have advance tickets on sale for $5.
Okay.
You can get those at the Dickinson Press or at our website, which is
Okay.
dickinsonexpo.com. If you have to get them at the door, they'll be $7.
Okay.
I am doing, if you like us on Facebook, on our Facebook page, I have giveaways all week long for tickets.
Okay.
Yep.
So make sure you share that page and share whatever posts I have going on
And the
for a
page
chance
is
to
the
win.
Dickinson Expo page on Facebook?
Yes,
Okay.
it's Dickinson
All
Expo.
right.
Yep.
Very cool.
And we'll tease that on the Dickinson Press's Facebook page as
Sure.
well in the next couple days.
So get out there Saturday. Starts at 9 o'clock at the West River Ice Center up there. Vendors, music,
Food.
DJ MC you might know.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff. It's going to be a great day.
We kind of glossed over that part.
That's
but
okay.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be.
You know that.
I'll just be milling around. I'll be wearing a red shirt, milling around. I'm kind of like a floater.
Yeah.
I'm
Wherever
just,
they
I've
need
always
you.
wherever they need me to be, whatever they need me to do. Yeah,
Monkey, we
go
need you
do
to
it.
the bounce house.
Yeah,
Monkey to the
pretty
bounce
much.
house.
Oh, and that is, I'm sorry, I forgot to talk about that. We do actually have jumpers to go. We'll be out in
yeah.
the front
So,
with
yeah.
an inflatable.
Gotta have that for the
so
kids.
Great.
definitely for the
Mom
kids.
and mom go shop, and the kids can go nuts in the bounce house
Yep.
and get all sugared up.
Do we
and
have
a
the
good
Do we have the
time.
TVs back this year?
For the men?
Man cave? Or
No man cave this
Uh-oh.
year. No,
Uh-oh.
unfortunately, we had to let that go this year.
That's all right. So
We'll bring it back next year, maybe. We'll
Yes,
work on that
we'll-
for
we'll
sure.
look at it for
guys,
next
need-
year.
guys, their guys need their place too.
Yeah.
So get out there 9 o'clock till 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday at the West River Ice Center, Dickinson Expo 2016. Food, fashion, fun. Nikki, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks
Look
for
forward to
having
seeing
me,
everyone
guys.
there on Saturday at the
Yes.
Expo. We'll come back after this. Look at the week ahead right here on Insight.
Consolidated is committed to providing advanced network systems and service to the business world, staying ahead of the curve by offering digital technology with voice over IP, Ethernet circuits, hosted telephone systems, as well as cloud-based networking. GNet fiber technology allows us to offer internet speeds up to 1 gig, making your network more efficient. Our sales and technical team take pride in providing state-of-the-art service to our customers. At Consolidated, we're here to listen and offer the most efficient solutions for your business.
All right, folks, welcome back to Inside Time for a look at the week ahead of the big stories coming up in the area this weekend. Dustin, first off, Theodore Roosevelt National Park is getting their own coin. Yeah.
quarter. It's going to have Theodore Roosevelt on it, with him sitting on a horse in front of the Badlands of the Missouri
Valley.
River.
That's my Teddy impersonation.
It's something.
Long story for today.
Anyway,
Different day. Enjoy.
We'll be out there on Friday. Kelsey and Sid are going out there to the Painted Canyon Visitor Center, which is where this unveiling is taking place,
cool.
which is really cool. To go out there to do a story shoot video. A lot of dignitaries out there, and then I'll be on my way back from beach covering on Thursday from that event. Thursday is a busy day. Today's a busy day for us. Obviously, like I said, we're shooting on Wednesday because it's so busy. I'll be on my way back from that murder hearing in Beach, and I'll be covering a story about the Theodore Roosevelt Medora Foundation, Theodore Roosevelt National Park folks meeting with Hoven, Kramer, Drew Wrigley, a bunch of other politicians and people, kind of about tourism issues and staffing issues at the park and at the Medora Foundation. So could be an interesting story. I don't know exactly what will happen there,
I
but
wonder what their concerns are. I'm looking forward to hearing
that's
that one.
exactly what my reasoning is. That's why I'm going to
A lot
go.
of big dogs to bring in for that meeting, too.
Yeah, well, they're in the area. The U.S.
Yeah.
Mint will be there, everything too, so that'll be cool. And like I said, the U.S. Mint's going to be kind of in that area all weekend doing some cool stuff. So
Get
if
your
you see
quarters, get your coins.
Go get your quarters. I want to make sure I get a quarter. I got to tell somebody that's going to be there.
Pick one up.
I might tell John Cameron. He's the kind of a media. He's kind of a policy guy for John Hoven that works with us a lot. I might have him pick one up for me
They
while
come
he's
like
out
in
there.
a collector's case and stuff. I'm assuming they have them like that. Or like a
I think
little
if you bring a $10 bill or $10 in
Yep.
cash, you get to exchange it for a roll of quarters.
Oh, there
so
you
I
go.
might send the $10 with my reporters or something.
Very cool.
That'd be cool.
Good
We
shit.
have a couple other stories coming this weekend,
Yes.
but it's because the front end of the week has been incredibly busy with a murder, with the school openings and everything like that. You know, it's just
First day of school.
First day of school.
Yeah.
And then obviously, you know, we have stories that are coming. They're just not set in stone yet. And we also have football that's back this weekend. DSU football preview will be in, I think it's Saturday's paper. Blue Hawk Breakdown, our new reporter, Sam Evers, will be kind of, you know, showing himself off a little bit.
on Blue Hawk football.
He is up to speed, boy, and
Yeah.
he's done a great job covering them so far. And look out, Hawks are going to be good this year. Midgets open on Friday night. Trinity's playing right now as we speak, Thursday night here, and Trinity's going to have a good team this year. They're playing Killdeer, who always has a good team. DHS hosts Fargo North, so DSU plays Montana Western out in Miles City, which is going to be an interesting. Make the drive if you can. It's going to be a great game. I just know it. It's only 150 miles. It's
That's
good.
nothing.
It's not the most
a-
entertaining drive in the world, but it's going to be an
There's some
entertaining
good
end.
restaurants in Miles City.
Yeah, there is. There's
Yeah.
some great restaurants. So head out to Miles City this weekend if you're a Hawks
Go
fan.
watch the Hawks for sure. Dustin, what's happening this week in monkey business?
Well, speaking of the Hawks, each week I give my thoughts on something happening in our area. Now, things appear to be turning a corner at Dickinson State University. After 5 years of scandal, shrinking enrollment, and an overall lack of trust in the university, it seems that better days are just on the horizon, and they're actually here. While we don't know official enrollment numbers yet, they appear, at least on the surface, to be up. Students are happy to be back at the university, the community is happy to have them back, and there's a positive buzz around DSU that I haven't seen since the mid-2000s when I first came back to Dickinson. Like I said, even the football team is back in the top 20 of the NAI national poll. Things are looking good. A lot of this is thanks to new DSU president Tom Mitzel and his contagious enthusiasm. If you've ever met the man, you can tell he genuinely cares about the future of the university, and he's candid about the negative stuff that surrounds it. That negativity, namely the continuing issues surrounding the dissolvement of the DSU Foundation, appears to be slowly nearing an end. Court hearings are scheduled for late October and early November for the state's case against the foundation for its misuse of pledged scholarship dollars. Earlier this week, the first aspect of the DSU Foundation saga was resolved when First International Bank and Trust took over ownership of Hawks Point, which is on the DSU campus. The home, which was previously owned and managed by Dickinson Investments, a group of folks whose loans were backed by the DSU Foundation, underwent foreclosure and a sheriff's sale with First International assuming the bulk of the facility's debt. Bills that went unpaid are now being paid. Staff that hasn't gotten a raise for 2 years will soon see a bump in pay. The change for the better is happening at Dickinson State University. After years of struggle, strife, and problems at the College on the Hill, happier days are slowly coming.
I like how you mentioned how he's been candid about the negativity surrounding
Absolutely.
the campus, because I think it's very important for the new regime when they came in, starting with Osborne, to not just sit there and go, everything is fine, everything is fine, when Rome is burning.
Yeah, kind of like NDSU.
Yeah.
They have that, and UND had that issue too. Is everything? Don't worry, everything is wonderful.
this.
And Mitzel came right in and said, "Hey, we got problems here that has to be solved."
NDSU has an incredible distracting hand with 5 national championship football teams.
Yeah, they do.
But in reality, they have one of the worst graduation rates for a 4-year university.
They have foundation issues too, just like DSU.
Yeah.
Not quite that bad, but they have their own foundation issues. So,
but good on Mitzel and Osborne in town
and the folks
here.
at there's other folks at DSU too that we can't.
Many,
there's so many
many,
people
many,
we can't
many,
mention.
many.
And Mitzel has got himself a great leadership team in place there. I think things are turning around. Hopefully, in the next couple of years.
I'll say this too. Seen the man out and about at a lot of public functions.
Oh yeah, him and I stood at the rodeo together at the Rough Rider Days rodeo. I covered one of the nights.
First many times.
We sat there and and talked for probably 15, 20 minutes, and he said he's sorry to see it, sad to see it have to leave the campus, things like that. But he knows it's for the better with the TR library possibly coming in. If that TR library can take shape, everything like that, it's going to be good for the university. It's not even going to be.
That's a monstrous thing.
It's going to be monstrous
for the community.
But hopefully that does happen. It'll be just another cog in the wheel of getting getting DSU back on its feet after, you know, basically 5, 6, 7 years of just tough times.
I just like to see that he's accessible. That's good to see.
Oh, he's incredibly accessible,
Yeah,
and
because
so
at college,
so have
size,
his
you
staff.
have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be. You
Oh,
can't-
absolutely.
You can't be in the kingdom on the hill. You have to
Yep.
be. You know,
You have to be the college on the
This is Dickinson School.
It's a state school
Yeah,
too. It's
yeah,
a state
but I mean,
taxpayers fund DSU. That's why this has all been
it's so
public.
important to the community, and it's so
Absolutely.
woven in the fabric of what Dickinson is.
Yep.
That it's important that it's a school of the people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really important. Not just its own little world. So that's good to see, and it's good to see the changes happening up there.
Absolutely.
Big thanks to our guest Nikki Berry in studio to talk about the Dickinson Expo. Come see us this Saturday 9 to 3 at the West River Rice Center. Shopping, food, vendors, music, all kinds of great stuff happening up
We'll
there.
be there.
Get your
Look for us in
tickets.
the red
Yeah.
shirts. I'll be wearing a red shirt. All the event staff will be wearing red shirts. Say staff on the back and everything
Staff.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, check us out. It's gonna be great. All kinds of vendors, all kinds of people there. 9 to 3 on Saturday.
Should be a
Be
good
there.
time, folks. See you there. For Dustin and I, Brock White, we'll see you guys next week right here on Insight.